Yeah, 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 yeah. Bad little flex, she wanna know me. I stay low key, all gas, no brick. Body on 10, make your girl OD. I get in my way, never out of my lane. Feel like you the one and I'm on one. So what it's gonna be? Baby, squad up, we finna go deep. Riding on a team, got what you need. Baby, won't you keep me company? Give me something to do when I get lonely.
My life is a beautiful resistance because first, where I come from, it influences everything that I do on a regular basis, and just keeping a steady head and making sure that everything is together as much as possible without overwhelming myself, without the influence pressures, but being true to myself and being patient is why.
Yeah. And I hate to steal that, but like my life is a beautiful resistance because I stay true to me, you know? Like I try to always be P, always be Shamel, whether I'm having a bad day, good day, whether I'm inspired or uninspired, like I'ma always exude that same energy. I'ma always be there for folks. I'm gonna always be a connector. That's why my life is a beautiful resistance.
We're here at Big Night Live, where you pull in like a crowd of 1,500 every month.
18 to be exact.
See? 1,800, that's almost 2,000 people for our R&B party. Tell me about the beginning of Silk R&B.
I did my nightclub circuit in 2018. So I think all DJs kind of have that time where they like go to every nightclub and they're a resident at Icon, Venue, all of these places. And I always wanted to play. I always played R&B like at prime time in the night. And a lot of people would complain about that. You know, they want to hear Future, they want to hear all that, all those hits, Young Thug. So I kind of started to feel like this isn't the space for me. Like I can't be myself. Like I want to be able to play that stuff and no one complains or bats an eye. So I remember playing at the W a lot, and Braun used to always say like, "Yo, your R&B sets are crazy. They're crazy. We should do an R&B party." And I'm like, "Oh, people want to feel that." And he really pushed me to like really think outside of the box, and we tried it out, and we sold out the first time. Granted, it was 125 people, but the energy felt different. You know, it felt like something that I didn't experience in the city before. So we just kept going, and I think consistency was the key. You know, and we grew from there and went to another space. Now we're at Big Night.
Indiglo, when did you join the team?
2019?
2019.
Maybe 2018?
No, it was 2019. I think it was around maybe like April or so.
Yeah, it was early-ish in the year. I had just started doing parties. Prior to that, I was just making mixes on SoundCloud. I had like zero equipment, so anytime someone did ask to do a party, I was like, I can't. Then I eventually had some stuff down the line, and then P asked me to do it, and I was like, sure. And then we did one party, and then I want to say the next, or maybe another one happened, and then he was like, you want to be a resident? And I was like, yeah.
I booked her. I'm big on like booking local DJs, obviously. Like I feel like I was put on at a point, and I feel like I have an obligation to like set a platform for like DJs that are up and coming. But my man Tofu, who's our boy, Tofu used to always say, yo, Indy's next up, yo, Indy's nice, this girl, baby Indiglo. And I checked out one of her mixes in SoundCloud. I was like, oh, she's in a bag that like I don't be hearing usually, you know. Granted, it's a mix, but I was like, let me book her. So I booked her for Silk, and I feel like that was the best Silk like to date, you know, at the W. Like it was like the energy was different. There was a whole different demographic that showed up as well, and it like molded with the crowd that was already there. It just felt different.
All R&B, all love, all night. Like it's a real thing. Like you just go around the room, everybody's in a good mood, everyone's what's up, so good to see you. It's like almost like a reunion every time. Well, I started off as being a customer and just coming to their party, to be honest. I went to a few of the ones that were at the W initially, and I was like, yo, this is my vibe. Like this is, and then just feeling the energy in the room, I'm like, yo, this could really be something like bigger than what this is. Like ironically, you know, during the pandemic, when everything was kind of slowing down, like almost completely shut down, I reached out to P. I was like, listen, like, we're gonna come out of this soon. I was like, you know, I started making a couple of calls about where we could bring the party in. Renato over at La Fabrica was like, yeah, I'd be interested. Like, he's like, all R&B all night? Like, you sure? Like, that's all you're gonna play? I'm like, all night, just R&B music. He's like, all right, we could give it a shot. And then, you know, P was like, I'm down, let's do it. And we did one, sold out probably like a couple days.
Quick. That was one of the quickest ones, I think.
Because everybody was excited to get back out. Even, you know, even with masks on, it was like, all right, I'm coming.
What is your earliest memory of DJing?
It's different now because now you type on a computer and it's like you can just download any songs. Before, like, it was a moment. You had to go to the record shop, test out these records. You had to do parties to make money to buy the records, you know? And then it's like, I got this new record I know no one got that I got from Taurus Records. Now I'm coming to flex tonight, you know? So I remember flexing a lot on my friends because I had an older brother who had his own money, who would buy me records. So I always had the exclusive like white label joints. So that's my earliest memory, probably like 15, DJing at the Freedom House, pulling out my 45 white labels and flexing on them DJs. So
What's your earliest memory?
I started making mixes in high school. I was just heavy on SoundCloud. That's like a Gen Z thing. There was like a SoundCloud wave of just like a bunch of rappers coming out, but also a lot of producers were on there. So I was tuned in with them and they were putting out mixes. And I was like, well, I put playlists together all the time, like just for fun, not like, oh, I want to DJ, because that wasn't even in my mind at the time. And then I started listening to this collective called Selection. And I was like, okay, like this is kind of DJing, but playlist style. And I was like heavy on Tumblr. So that was big too, with like making your own music, almost like MySpace you could do. So that period of time, like 14 to 16, is what birthed me wanting to DJ.
Why do you think it's so important for people to have a space, not just to gather and dance, but to like really sing their hearts? I mean, that's what we do. We like get in our car, we're at home, in the mirror, in the kitchen. I sing into spoons all the time. Why do we need this space to do this together, to sing love songs at the top of our lungs together?
I feel like R&B brings people together and kind of lifts all of that type of anxiety or stress or whatever you've been going through. It's something very specific that you won't get anywhere else. So people that come to Silk or come to any other R&B party is very intentional because they're looking for that feel that you won't get at said club for whatever other night that could be going on.
I think R&B takes you to a place, you know, and that creates that bond easily. Like when I hear Frankie Beverly and Maze, like it takes me to my family reunion. And I think R&B is unique in that way.
What's it like when you're up there on stage, you're behind the turntables, you got your headphones on, and you look out and there's literally over 1,000 people singing to every track you play, vibing, dancing, just getting overhyped to what you're doing? You're literally moving the crowd. You are the vibe curator.
Pressure. A lot of pressure, but it's beautiful pressure for me. I think that that galvanizes me a little bit, that energizes me, and when they give that energy, like I give it back.
sometimes I can't look directly at the crowd because I have crippling anxiety. And I can just get so caught up in like, oh wait, I'm on stage. There's almost 2,000 people staring at me right now. But once I get in a groove, I'm like not even in the space anymore. I'm like in my room or in my shower singing my favorite Tina Marie song. And then P's like doing one of these and I'm like, okay, I'm doing something right.
But like if you've been to Silk, like you know me and Indy go back to back.
Yeah.
So there's this like, I don't know if I'm adding pressure to her, but I feel like there's this moment where we start lifting each other up. It's like, you know, you play this, you play that, you know, we're communicating back and forth.
No, it
while
feels
we're on
like
that
a
stage.
friendship and like a dance between two friends.
Yep.
How did you guys become? I mean, I know you found out about her through Tofu, but how has the friendship blossomed over the years?
Oh, I mean, I consider her like a little sister. I try to give her as many jewels as I can, like without feeling like I'm like big brothering her or bossing up over her. I'm just trying to be support. Like she hit me up, ask a question, like I'm here. She need a record, like I'll send that. So
I look at P as a mentor, and that's how I feel like our relationship has developed over the years, and just our genuine appreciation for DJ culture, and not just on like, oh, we need to make the next party or you need to do this. It's a genuine love for the music and for the DJ culture, and for that, I've like always been thankful of P and will continue to be thankful of P. I probably wouldn't be nearly as far this fast in my DJ career without Silk and without P's guidance and just watching him do what he does, and that's my form of like mentorship. I'm very observant. He never big bros me, and that's something that's easy to learn from, where you're just watching someone do it intentionally and very passionate about what they do. But yeah.
thank you. Appreciate you. I love you, girl.
I love you.
That's really like a testament of love. Can you talk about where love factors in not just R&B, but in your process?
Anytime I find a song or rediscover a song, that's like my favorite thing to do accidentally. It always brings me back to like a family cookout or my mom's wedding, or just being at my grandma's house in Inglewood. So I always try to bring that type of feel into the party on the stage, because at the end of the day, I feel like we're all a family. We're in that room and everyone's dancing to Candy.
And I think an aspect of my DJing style is like this music education kind of, like I like to like teach without being a teacher. So I love samples, like I love to like flex that muscle. And I think knowing where you came from and like connecting it to the present is like that love. It's really that tapping into nostalgic feels. And I think that's what Silk is built upon. And nostalgia is love, man.
Well, it's home. You're
It is
evoking
home,
home.
yeah, evoking home, yeah. So
Because when you use those things, Living Single on my end, or a song like Candy, I mean, it doesn't matter who's in the room. Most of us were at home with our Black families, cleaning or watching the show or in the kitchen cooking when those things were on. So it just evokes that feeling of home. What makes Black love Black love?
It's an irresistible feeling that's just there. No matter how hard someone can or cannot fight it, it is something that's within every single Black person that we can all share without even having to have a conversation about it necessarily.
I mean, that goes to R&B. Like R&B ignites that light. That's why it's beautiful when we have 1,800 people in there and they're singing together and there's people kissing and hugging and all that. So Black love is unique. But yeah, it's filled with light, I should say.
What has it been like for you being the people's DJ, a community partner? I mean, you are who so many of us call when we have an event to come out. What's that relationship to home been like for you, creating such beautiful spaces for us to gather as Black people?
That's all I know. And I feel like that's all I've been kind of doing my entire life, is kind of connecting us and convening us in different spaces. So, you know, I don't have that perspective of like, where we're not seen. Like, I don't support that take. Like, we're definitely seen in the city. We may have to kind of like take our stake a little bit more And I think that's what we're doing here. Like, we're taking what's ours. Like, we belong downtown.
No, just another Boston night. A beautiful resistance. We love you. Mwah.
I don't wanna wait for you. I don't wanna. I don't wanna wait. Make her